Welcome to this last episode of our little series about basically the world of German clarinet with Ruben Mirzoian. He produced a new course which launches right now on clarinetmasterclass.com, and today is the last day to join via the coupon code German, where you can get a 30% discount on the entire thing. But what we will speak about today is why to switch. Why not the French system? And why should the German system always be an option to consider for every intermediate and advanced clarinetist out there? So yeah, let's dive straight into the topic, Ruben. Why is the German system clarinet interesting to consider if you want to become a professional clarinetist?
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about my experience, which is I was a French system clarinet player, and later I moved to Germany 8 years ago to start my studies, bachelor's and then master's, to study clarinet professionally. And very quickly I encountered the reality that in Germany and in Austria, they don't accept you on the French system clarinet. So if you want to win a job on a market that has the most amount of jobs, uh, in the orchestras, for the clarinetists, uh, it was it was a very difficult decision to isolate yourself from the rest of the world. But at the same time, I wanted to stay there in Germany and hopefully win a position, and that's why I had to switch. So I think the reason for most of the people that I know and myself that want to switch is that because they want to have a future and to have a salary and to have a stability and proper life, while doing what they love, which is playing the instrument and having concerts and shows. At the same time, I think for a lot of people, everywhere in the world, just getting to know the German system and the intricacies of it will make you a better French system clarinet player. That's what I remember when I was switching, but I still had my French system clarinets. I would come back and I would already be a different player, because whenever you test out material, your world expands. And whenever you just learn about new ideas and how people approach your instrument, but maybe in different key fingerings, which we talked about, or something else, it makes you more advanced and more aware of what this world of clarinet in general is. So if you are interested in, studying here in Germany professionally, or applying for some positions, or maybe having job opportunities with some other gigs or ensembles, or chamber music and whatever, this is it. This is the world that you get to enter. Not only have to enter, but also I would say get to enter, because there's so much opportunity. And yeah, I think that would be the place to start.
Yeah. And so you mentioned the market in Germany. So is there any statistic on how many orchestras there are in Germany in comparison to other countries?
I have never properly counted. I remember hearing something like 128 orchestras, professional orchestras. So there's also a lot of orchestras that just kind of collect for example, you collect an orchestra for this one gig or this one tour or whatever. Like there's many opportunities also like that. Plus there's many unprofessional orchestras. For example, for people who have completely different jobs but play as like intermediate hobby level ish at any kind of instruments, and they just join these unprofessional orchestras, and they're pretty good. It's not like you would think they're just amateurs, and you cannot listen to a single sound that they're producing, but it sounds pretty nice. So I think there's 120 plus professional orchestras in Germany, and um, I'm not sure about the stats on other countries, but I'm pretty sure that's more than in all of the rest of the Europe combined.
Which
So if
is
you take
already
Europe,
around 600 clarinetist positions, because you have principal, you have co-principal, whatever, second, you have E flat, you have bass,
mhm,
sometimes up to four
yeah,
clarinetists per orchestra.
even more.
Even more
Take
sometimes.
more. Yeah, if you take like Dresden, the so-called Staatskapelle, so like what is it? What would it be called? Like a national theater, let's say. There's 7 clarinetists there in the orchestra, and they also even they need sometimes some people who jump in, and maybe you can become one of those people. with the proper education with like a German system clarinet. So definitely with Germany, Germany is slowly opening up, I think, to French system. Like you hear about 1 or 2 cases here and there where people get positions with French, but also I've heard those French system clarinet players switching to German also later on, or their material is so German sound oriented that it's kind of like, it's like almost like you, for example, like the keys are French, but I would never recognize that you're a French system clarinet player. So the difference is definitely getting narrower. But yeah, you're completely right. Like there's maybe, let's say 600 jobs, maybe even more if we take the unprofessional orchestras as well.
Right. So basically, if you're listening to this right now and you think that in order to win a professional orchestra audition, you need to play like Martin First. No, there's just one person that plays like Martin First, and it's Martin First. And it's already maybe for good enough to be really good, which is already cool. Like if you're really good in Germany, you have a good chance of actually, if you have a good day and you play your best, of actually getting the job. Let's say on the French market, you go to an orchestra audition for Orchestre de Paris, something like this. Nowadays, there are 300 people on this day there. Like there will be 200 to 300, something like this. So you will arrive, so you will pay your flight ticket. Flight ticket will be, let's say, nowadays $300, euros, whatever. You will pay your hotel, and you will pay all of your food expenses because you need to eat out during the time there. And then you will meet 300, or let's be conservative, let's say 200 other clarinetists on the first day. And they will listen to you for 3 minutes. So you will get the Mozart until the until the cadenza, and that's it. And then you need to go. And they usually let around 6 to 8 people pass to the second round. So from 200 to 300, they narrow it down to 6 to 8. The likelihood that you're under these 6 to 8 people is very low. I'm going to tell you very honestly, it's very low, and the people that pass are very good. So they are very amazing, and they play like they don't have any single technical problem. Like they could be world-class soloists, and those people win those positions. And now you have basically two choices. So you can go to Germany and have a chance to do what you love, or you can not get a job. It's like or not get a very good job. You can always get like some random stuff somewhere. But if you want one of the very good positions, you need to be one of the best players in the world nowadays on the European market that is outside of Germany, and probably also in the US for the top orchestras, the orchestras that you would actually want to play in.
Fair. Also, but at the same time, I know a lot of people from Asia, or now recently from Spain, also one girl, she switched to German system like 10 years ago, and now she became a professor in Spain on the German clarinet. So that's also a thing. Like you can go back to your homeland with the highest level of education that you can get on the different system that most of the people play, and still be so good that you can teach other people. Especially, I think, if you're the person who switched, because now you're so versed in both that you can actually, like, you're a universal weapon for all. You can just shoot in every direction. And becoming a professor back where you came from, or even in Germany, I guess, just trying to, we haven't even touched on the world of teaching, on like professors, teachers, and like docenten or whatever, like all of this. It's a huge market, and there's always a demand for music teachers, for example. So like, yeah, that's definitely another realm that you can enter, which is teaching. And about this level of education, I thought what you would say is that you have 2 opportunities. One of them is like, medieval European times, when you hear about some someone who creates the best armor somewhere in Spain. So you travel all across Europe to go there because that's the person to have this, get this from, or just some knowledge. For example, there's this Buddhist monk somewhere in Thailand or whatever, and you just have to travel from the US 16 hours to get that knowledge from that specific person because he's the only one there. As you said before, there's like a few classes in Europe that have the knowledge. And if you're lucky enough to get into those classes, then you can have access to it. But the second way is the internet, the holy internet that we have now at our disposal. And one of the best tools I think I've ever seen created for clarinetists that never existed before is clarinetmasterclass.com. So that's why I was so excited to create this course on the world of German clarinet, because I think, first of all, it's one of a kind, and I don't think that exists in that video form, covering all of the things that you would need to dive into the German clarinet. And the second thing is all of the other stuff that you can mention, I think, with what's coming also with the website. So use the internet to your advantage and use the clarinetmasterclass.com as a perfect tool to improve.
Right. So just so that everyone knows, so teaching clarinet is something that is very, very difficult. So as Ruben already mentioned, in Germany, there are around 6, not in Germany, like in Europe, like there's 6 to 7 clarinet classes that are fine. Like in Germany, there's like 2, like maybe Berlin and Freiburg where you studied. So
I would mention a couple more, I guess.
A couple more.
Like
yeah.
Hanover, I say, and Stuttgart. Yeah.
So like
let's
4.
say like 4 or 5.
Then we have in Switzerland, we have Geneva and Basel. That's it.
In Italy, maybe like a couple, I guess. Something like that. Not even sure.
But do they win auditions?
Maybe not.
Really?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Fair.
I don't know. Like, anyways, but like the right clarinet technique in order to really have a chance is like very, very rare. So even if you study at a music university, the chance that you already have all the knowledge in this music university to be one of the best players, to have all the knowledge, to get complete control, to know everything about how to win auditions, about all of this stuff is very unlikely. So this problem is solved by clarinetmasterclass.com, basically my website. I want to create a general online solution that should at some point actually be the world's best place to go to online if you would like the best clarinet education possible. So it should make this just in a tiny spots behind closed doors information. It should make this kind of information available to everyone so that you don't need to, first of all, like me, in order for me to get to the information I have, I had to study 8 hours a day just before the entrance exams for like 5 months, and literally just be dead every single day, do nothing else than practice, and then go to the entrance exam and then get access to this information. Before, I wasn't permitted access to the information. So I don't really find this fair, because in the end, it's just information. And I think every clarinetist in the world should be able to get at least access to the information and do with it what you want afterwards. But this is exactly what you will get at clarinetmasterclass.com. So you'll get all the information needed in order for you to become a great clarinetist, a clarinetist without technical problems, and then you do with it whatever you want. Basically, you go get your jobs, you go win your competitions, play your amazing concerts. But I want this information to be out there for everyone.
Also,
and
just enjoying the music, I think, right? Like it's so fun to get proficient at an instrument. Like it's just so enjoyable. You listen to a piece of music, you open the scores, and you can play it, and it sounds amazing, and you can fascinate people around you. And you're not going to get there by yourself mostly, because this is not something that you can practice without resources that will guide you in the right way. So please continue.
No, exactly. And so basically, the cool thing is, so from your sofa, okay, so basically imagine yourself now on your sofa, you're watching this YouTube video right now, and then you click the link, right? So below this video, you go click the link, and then you're on this website. Then comes a checkout, okay. You will not receive it for free. For free, you have all the YouTube stuff here. But this course, for example, that Ruben recorded required more than 100 hours of actual work. So you will not get it for free. You'll get it for a payment. But basically, you enter your credit card stuff and you will be charged 30% less than usual. Okay. And for the first month. So that's a very, very little payment. And then you will get instant access to all of the knowledge you didn't have yet. Okay, from the comfort of your own home, from the comfort of your living room where you're sitting right now, and calmly practicing in your practice room and being able to then improve drastically just by getting access to information that is usually hidden behind closed doors. And this course, German System Clarinet, it was not only hidden behind closed doors, it was just hidden. It was just not available. Like if you would have been in the US in the past 20 years, like no one could have helped you to even make a consideration to switch to German System Clarinet because your teachers never played German System Clarinet. Or if you're in Europe, your teacher might know something about German System Clarinet, but if you don't explicitly tell him or her that you would like to switch right now, they will not bring it up from themselves. So this is just something that Ruben has created for us so that everyone can get an instant glimpse into this world, which makes up such a big part of the clarinet world itself. It's like not some weird little thing that just happens in Germany, but it's a big part of the clarinet culture, clarinet history. And I think it shouldn't be hidden behind closed doors anymore, or just such a niche topic that is just in Stuttgart in Germany or something, but it should actually be a worldwide topic. So that's why we've created this whole thing, to solve this mystery of the German system. Yeah. Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit more of what's the structure of the course? So what are like the modules? What do you speak about?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so I think I cover most of the things that I would love to have when I was switching. I think that's the thing, right? The way you created the website, you would love to have that when you were younger and when you were practicing. I would
Exactly.
love to have this 8 years ago when I was switching, because the way it was explained, like no one could explain the switch properly. There was no system. And I don't think anyone has ever sat down and properly wrote out a system still. But this switch is super jarring in the beginning, is very overwhelming. And the way I went about the course is that you just go through this with me in the beginning, how to approach step by step, what to do, what to pay attention to, what is new, what is going to take this amount of time and that amount of time, like how, because sometimes people think, oh my God, these keys are so different and it's probably like, I'm never going to learn this. This is the easiest part. No one realizes this is the easiest part. And I'm talking about the parts that are way more difficult to, grasp and to wrap your head around in the course. But yeah, should I just go through the modules of the
Yeah.
course?
Like let's say someone goes right now, signs up right now, puts in the coupon code German to get a 30% discount. Most people join yearly, by the way. So do this as well because it's the best option. So what do they see straight away? Like what is module 1? What do they start with?
Sure. The introduction. I just wanted to start with this idea of what is this? Like, what am I holding in my hand? Why am I playing this? What does this sound like? And I mean, as I said, why to switch? And at the same time, very important, the course provides so much value for everyone, with all of the tips and tricks and knowledge and all of the experience that I've gathered, with many exercises and books that I mentioned, and also like etudes and all of this. But you start with the introduction, and then I would dive straight into the fingerings and the German keys and differences, and also a couple of tricks and maybe some pieces that I'm mentioning where it's more complicated. There's 2 modules on the German keys. One of them is like kind of more basic and the obvious differences, and the other one is hidden problems of the German clarinet. So there's 2 parts on that. There's 2 parts on airflow and all of this. So I'm teaching a lot of exercises without the instruments, and then also with the instrument, what to do when you have the clarinet on you, and what exercises would develop this fast air that German clarinet definitely requires. I'm talking about the warm-up. One of the modules is the warm-up, and I think a lot of people misplace the mindset connected to warm-ups. Most of the people think, it's boring, or I don't need it, or I just do something and I'm warmed up. It's not really the case. So I'm teaching the proper mindset, I think, what warm-up really is. Then I go into scales and exercises, and like a better and more mindful way to play those and practice those. What does it actually mean to take an exercise like, and just not to play like a ha 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 ha, but like to make something more interesting out of it, and what to pay attention to. There is a couple of fun lessons. One of my most favorite ones is the last one, where I just sit down and I go through a couple of recordings throughout the years, for like, let's say, last 7 to 8 decades, of what the clarinet sounds like, the German clarinet specifically. And for me, it was also, when I was gathering resources and recordings, it was so fun and so weird to listen to this being played at such a different sound and different level. And I think we've come so far. I think we have this incredible privilege to live in the golden times now with the wind instruments in comparison to the strings. So string instrument peak, I think, happened in, like, let's say, 19th century. And also sometimes the older your violin is, the more rare it is and the more valuable it is. But with us, you can pick up something very new and like brand new and fresh, and it's the best instrument on the market in the world right now. So this, I just love this idea of like, today is the best that the clarinet has ever sounded, and you can be a part of that universe. And it's not somewhere in the distant past, but it's here, it's today. So I'm going through these recordings, and also at the end you will find a small little game. I hope it was fun for you when you were watching it. There's a little game where you're trying to guess the systems, if it's French or German. I'm not mentioning it. I'm just playing your recording, and you're trying to guess. So that's, I guess, basically the course. It's very educational. I put a lot of effort into, and mindfulness, thoughtful like work on what to provide and how much value it can bring to all of us. But also a lot on how to switch systems. There's one lesson on switching systems with specific steps on how to do it and what to watch out for. So good luck.
Yeah, what you will also get directly after signing up, you will also get access to a masterclass that we held yesterday, actually. So this was pretty cool. This was 2 hours where we went through a couple of pieces where Ruben gave to 3 other members that will be your future colleagues advice about the pieces they were playing. So we had some Bellini, we had some Uhl Etude, number 4. What else did we have?
Saint-Saëns Sonata.
And Saint-Saëns Sonata. Jaden played Saint-Saëns Sonata. It was amazing. So you will get instant access to also the whole recording of this masterclass, and where we had a little group discussion at the very end as well. So, and you're not only going to get access to the recordings, but in the future, you'll get access to one masterclass with famous clarinetists every month. So now we had, for example, on already, so Ruben was one of them. So we had Joel Cardoso as well. You might know him. Céline Girol, Matteo Mastromarino, Angel Martin Mora. Okay, so really amazing clarinetists that will share their knowledge with us. And just by being immersed in this information over time, you will get better. You don't even have to change anything about your practice at all. You will just join the membership. You'll be immersed. You will in this high quality of clarinet education, and you will progress over time just by basically getting it once a month, by being pulled into it, and then doing the stuff the right way at the right time. So it's basically a general solution for every intermediate clarinetist out there that I don't think anyone should know that this knowledge exists and actively decide against it, because we've priced it very, very affordably so that everyone can actually get access to it. Awesome. So there's not much left to say. You can go sign up right now. Don't forget. I don't know how anyone could forget, but don't forget. The link is down in the description below. Use the coupon code German. Okay, German spelled German. German for 30% off for the first 3 months or 30% off for the entire first year. So most members join yearly directly from the get-go. Some join monthly, but they end up turning to yearly afterwards anyway. So just go yearly from the very start. It's the best option. Cool. So any more words for anyone, Ruben?
Sure. Don't forget to have fun. Whatever you're going through, whatever phase it is, whatever instrument it is, whatever day it is where your reeds don't work or anything, we are very privileged at what we're doing. So enjoy creating a beautiful sound, and yeah, also all of the tips and exercises on how to improve the sound, where you can find. The link is everywhere. But yeah, I guess just enjoy. Every time I'm a bit lost and burned out, I think it's important for me to come back to this idea of this is fascinating. We're creating music out of thin air. And of course, with sometimes a very expensive instrument, but still, it's a privilege. So thank you for having me on. This is fun.
It's awesome. All right. Thank you, Ruben, for coming on, and see you all very, very soon.
Good luck, everyone.
Or inside. See you inside.